Arjun, today we are doing the story of Arjun, right? So Arjun was born of Kunti. Kunti was his mother's name, and many times in Bhagavad Gita also you'll hear this. Krishna is always addressing Arjuna by his mother's name, like Kaunteya, Pritha. All these names are basically related to his mother. So son of Kunti is called Kaunteya, and he when he was born he was very devotional, and he was very dharmic. Okay, and when he was born, then all the celestial beings, they had prophesied, they had said this about him, that he is going to actually, his valor is going to rival even Shiva, and he's going to be better than Indra and Shiva also in his art, the art of basically his qualities are going to be superior to Shiva and Indra also. He's going to be better at archery and wisdom, and he's going to be very spiritual, and he's going to be a devotee of Krishna. And remember when I told you last time about Duryodhan, when he was born, then what everybody said, all these that he will actually destroy his race. But for Arjuna, they said the right opposite. They said that he's going to restore the fortunes of his dynasty, of his race, and he's going to also obtain divine weapons, right? Because there's a higher cause that he's going to support in his life. So for that he will need these divine weapons from the demigods, okay, from the gods who stay in the heavens. They have these extraordinary powers and extraordinary weapons. So Arjuna will be the one who's actually going to get all these weapons for a higher cause. That everybody will get to know later. But when he was born, these things were told about him. And he's also going to have a very important role in upholding dharma. Like, there were 5 brothers, but there were some things which were very prominent to Arjuna. So, we remember from the last class that, he's totally, all the problems that he faced with Kauravas, and how they brought the Pandavas to a position where the war was inevitable. The war had to be fought. They tried their best. In fact, Krishna also tried his best. He went as a peace messenger, but we know how Duryodhan behaved with Krishna. In fact, he wanted to imprison Krishna also. And you're not supposed to do this. In the Vedic culture, when a messenger comes to you, he's just a courier guy. He's just a postman. He's just delivering a message to you. You're not going to get angry and just imprison him and hold him captive, right? But Duryodhan was so dull-witted that he wanted to actually imprison Krishna also. But then Krishna showed his Virat Roop. He showed his universal form and almost blinded Duryodhan, right? So, right now that we are discussing about Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is totally confused, and he's asking a lot of questions, because he has so many doubts and problems, and he wants answers. And he found that Krishna is his best friend, his best well-wisher, and he wants a guide. And he's asking Krishna that please solve my problem and please give me my answers to my questions that are really confusing me. So he's seeking help from Krishna, and he wants Krishna to become his guide. And there is a breakdown. Arjuna is breaking down but not because he's a coward, not because he doesn't want to fight with these bad people, but because he's not able to understand his own identity. Who is he? Who is he? What is his real identity? And he has many doubts. So he wants to clarify those doubts one by one. The first doubt that Arjuna has is that he has a lot of compassion for these people who are standing right in front of him. His grandfather, Bhishma is his grandfather, and when he was a small little baby, he used to sit in his grandfather's lap. Like, how grandfathers are so, loving, and they always know that what you need. And even if your mummy is scolding, your grandfather really protects you, your grandmother really protects you, right? So now the grandfather, that same grandfather, is standing right in front of him in the battlefield on the opposite direction, and he has to actually fight against it. And this is not like fighting, like this, you just box him and he falls. Not like a fun and laughter fight. This is like shooting arrows and absolutely killing the other person, right? And then on the other side are his own brothers, his own cousin brothers. So he's in a dilemma, what to do. And don't you think you need a guide at this time? You need somebody to tell you what to do, what is right and what is wrong, right? So he's feeling this compassion from his heart, and he feels that they're going to lose their lives, their precious lives, because of him. So see how much compassion he has. But Krishna tells him that what is his real identity? What is his identity? We just did something, right? What is he? He's a warrior. He's a warrior, right? A warrior is called a Kshatriya in Sanskrit, right? And what is his duty? What is the duty of a warrior? You guys tell me.
Yes.
Doing MMA.
Doing
Martial
MM,
arts.
mixed martial arts.
Yeah, exactly. But for a good cause, right? Not just because I like to kill people, I will kill, right?
Yeah, what else? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hana?
To protect the people from the bad ones and
Okay.
fight for the good things.
Justice.
Exactly. So he's right now, what's happening to him, he's not able to understand what should he do, what is right, whether he should actually fight the battle or not fight the battle. So he's having a lot of material attachment, right? So if I tell you, suppose you're a swimmer, okay, who all knows how to swim, right? And suppose there's a new person who's joined the class today, and that person doesn't know how to swim, but he's just joined the class. He doesn't even know that he needs to, he's wearing a swimsuit, but on top of that swimsuit, he's also wearing a coat, let's say. Because he's a new person, right? And he jumps inside the water. He doesn't know how to swim, and he thinks he can do it. And he jumps inside the water, and your coach tells you, because you are a swimmer, your coach tells you, please save this person. And you, with your very good, butterfly, breaststroke and all the different strokes that you've learned in your swimming lessons, you try and you get hold of that person. But what you do is, you just remove the coat of the person and you leave the person there, and you take the coat and you come back to your coach and say, look, I have saved the person. And the coach says, where's the person? This is the coat. The person has drowned, So
No.
So exactly, and why I'm giving this analogy is that Arjuna is thinking about the bodies of these people, that they are going to die. But what is the real person? The real person is the soul. Will the soul ever die? Does the soul ever die? The soul is eternal, right? So it's just like he's thinking that these people are doing all wrong things, but I will not kill them, because if I kill them, they're going to die. But actually the real person is the soul. The soul is not going to die. The body is going to die, and the persons should actually die because they are not doing the right things. They are taking part in adharma. And the Vedic Shastras, they say, yes, Ahana?
So so are you saying that Arjuna's relatives were doing the wrong thing?
Yeah, I'll tell you how they were doing the wrong things.
The fight, the Dharma Shastra says.
So Krishna said, according to Dharma Shastra, there are 6 things that you're not supposed to do. And if you are doing those things, those 6 things, then you are atatais. You're called atatais, who are actually not doing the right thing. You are following adharma. And what are those 6 things? Let's
Worse
count.
than terrorists.
What are those 6 things which they did and which is not recommended?
Maybe they were getting the Kalyuga into people's souls?
Yeah, so you remember Duryodhan had fed poison to Bhim. So anybody who poisons you with the intention of killing you, is that a good karma?
No.
It is adharma, right? Second thing, did they set fire to their home?
Yes.
We discussed that, right? they had invited them to a beautiful palace, and then they set fire, and then the Pandavas had to escape. Okay,
Yes.
right? So they did that also. Did they attack the Pandavas? Did Duryodhan and his brothers attack the Pandavas with deadly weapons? Yes. Right? Did they try to usurp their property, take their property away from them?
Yes.
Right? They did that also. Did they try to occupy somebody else's land? Like they were given Khandavpras, which they nicely decorated and made it into Indrapras. Did Duryodhan become envious and jealous and try to take that also at the dice game?
Yes.
Yeah. So everything. And the last thing and the most serious thing that they do, did they assault the wife?
Yes.
So they did all the things that were not supposed to be done. They did that, and the Vedic Shastra says that somebody who does all this is very, very evil, and you have to punish that person. And when you punish that person, that you're actually doing good to that person by punishing that adharmic person, because he will not go to hell, because he's got that punishment. So whenever there is some crime which happens and that person is caught, the court always gives a punishment, right? That he's hanged till death, or he's been imprisoned for a long time, right? That actually saves the person from a very, very bad thing that can happen to him even after he dies, because he will definitely get punishment. So it's better that he gets punished in this lifetime itself. Okay?
Because then he'll have to be born again.
Yeah, and Arjuna is actually trying to save the court of that person by not killing that person. He's not saving the soul, because the soul is going to then go to hell and suffer so much, right? And what is the dharma of a Kshatriya? To fight for the right cause, right? So a Kshatriya has to have the courage to fight and to destroy a dharma. So is Arjuna doing the right thing by not fighting?
No.
Yeah. So Krishna, at that time when he's confused, Krishna comes in his life. Why? Because Arjuna is asking for help. When you ask for help, when you ask for wisdom, then wisdom comes in your life in the form of parents, in the form of teachers, in the form of spiritual books, right? In the form of shastras, right?
So those conversations were happening right now, which we had all did.
Yeah, so yeah, the conversation, what I'm saying is Krishna is saying this to Arjuna. This is part of the conversation which happens in Bhagavad Gita. And that's how Bhagavad Gita was recited, spoken by Krishna to Arjuna. And that's how we are also able to have, we also able to listen to that conversation or read that conversation or be part of that conversation, right? So, going back to Arjuna's, youth and his training period when he was your age, because they used to go to the Gurukul, which is like a school, right? And they used to learn so many arts and so much, academics and martial arts and sciences. So Arjuna was the best student of his teacher. Why? Because he would practice a lot. So one day he saw one of his brothers were very fond of eating. Who's that brother? Bhim. So there was no electricity in those years, because this is like 5,000 years ago. So at night Bhim was so addicted to food and he loved food so much. He was a foodie. So yeah, even I'm a foodie. So yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are, right? So even in the night you used to feel hungry. Have you ever felt like that? Like suppose if you have a sleepover in school?
Yes.
एक बार 3 बजे भूख लग रही थी मैं
Yeah. आपको एक बार लगी थी ना? Bhim used to feel hungry.
in total 102 times.
You had 102 times. Every single night he would have it. Like 365
I
nights.
know this story.
You know the story?
Yeah, so
You
then
want to say it?
Arjun heard it. Arjun heard Bhim eating this the night one day. So then when he came outside, he noticed that there was Bhim who was eating. And he thought, if Bhim can eat in the night, and he knows that he's practiced so much, then why can't I practice my archery in the night?
Yeah, exactly. So this is called ekagrata, basically single-minded focus. He had single-minded focus to eat his food, right? And that's how he was gaining his strength and gaining his weight also. On the other hand, Arjuna thought, oh my God, if he can become so bright at eating things, I can also become bright and become perfect in my skill, right? The skill that I'm learning. And he was very fond of his teacher, and his teacher also was very fond of him. So you know what he used to do? Arjuna used to learn everything from his teacher in the morning hours, like how we go to school in the morning hours, we learn everything.
And he used to practice it in the night.
Yeah, so he wouldn't sleep. Where's the sleep? Sleeping time is at night. But he wouldn't sleep at night. He would practice at night. Like how you all go to school, you learn everything and then come back and do your homework, right? So you all are practicing after school.
Wouldn't he get very weak?
No, he had actually had control over his senses. You know, sometimes when you really practice and you do these austerities, you actually have control over your senses, or when you have real passion for something. Suppose an author, if he has to write a book, right? What he does, he sleeps very little. If you ever go and read J.K. Rowling's, story, she was so passionate about writing Harry Potter, she would sleep very little. You know, whenever she would sleep, immediately some idea would come to her. And she would quickly get a piece of paper and pen and write it down. While she was sleeping, she would get up.
When you're addicted to something,
Exactly.
then in the night, you're always thinking about it. And
Exactly.
Then you get
Your subconscious mind, you're always thinking. And your dreams are also sometimes related to your passion, right?
Yes, like I dream of being an F1 race or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you're so passionate about it.
Even I read a book about J.K. Rowling, and in that it was mentioned that she used to get an idea any time of the day, even if it's 3 in the morning.
Yeah, and 3 in the morning, what do you do? What do you do at 3 in the morning? Sleep. Yeah, but then the moment she gets an idea, she writes it. Then this is how the book came about, right?
And
All
sometimes
bachas.
I also do. I kick everybody. Yeah.
Kabir's routine for him to get up at 3 o'clock is to pick everybody. That I am awake, now everyone get up.
I used to sleep talk, and one time I walked in the back. But she
While
was
sleeping.
sleepwalking when she went in the balcony.
My God.
Hey!
It sounds scary, huh?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
she also used to do karate in the night.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday.
So, as we mentioned earlier, he was called Gudakesha, which means conqueror of sleep, right? And his teacher was very fond of him. So one day the teacher decided, as we have our exams and tests, the teacher decided, okay, I'll give a test to all the students, including 100 Kauravas and 5 Pandavas. So how many people are taking the test? 105. And we will see who actually passed the test. All failed and only one person passed.
because he was practicing in the night.
Yeah, so the test was, there was a bird on the tree. Does anybody know this story? No? So there was a bird on the tree, and the teacher, Dronacharya, said that, now what can you see? He asked everybody. So everybody came up, like, I can see the foliage and I can see such a beautiful tree. Some said I can see the mangoes hanging, and everything else. Somebody, Yudhishthir said I can see the bird and I can see the beauty of the nature, and everything is so nice. So then Arjuna was asked. Arjuna says, I don't see anybody. I only see the bird's eye, because that is my target, and I have to pierce the bird's eye. That's how the bird is going to fall from the tree, and that's how, this is the test. If the question, whatever is the question, we'll write that answer, right? If question is something and we are writing something else, we won't get our marks, right?
What's the question?
The question,
What do you see?
Because I don't like that.
question, yeah, you see it in the picture, right?
One on the left.
And then this is the picture where they are tested when they are kids, when they are in Gurukul.
Yes.
But when Duryodhan actually becomes an adult and he has to take part in a competition. Arjun is an adult and he has to take part in a competition. There also the target, you have to hit the eye of the target. And he's so single-minded focus he has that he actually hits the target of the eye of the fish by looking at the reflection of the fish. and the reflection is not stable. The reflection is rotating, it's moving. So this is what happens when you are totally focused. When you're studying, you're studying. When you're playing, you're playing. You know, not that you're distracted with the phone or scrolling while you're studying on the pretext of, you know, I have to do some research. But that research goes astray and you go all over the place, right? So this is the character that we are discussing. And later also, there's one more story which I think you all might know. Later also, when they were exiled, all the Pandavas were exiled, right? Because of that rigged game of dice. So when they were exiled, they were not wasting their time and playing with bottles.
They were practicing.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
they were not juggling.
They were
and
practicing.
They were practicing, and especially Arjuna, because everybody is almost depending on him, because he knows exactly how to fight a war. All the other brothers know, but he's like really best of the best, right? So he was doing these austerities, and what he wanted in return was all the celestial weapons from all the from all the gods, demigods, right? And especially he wanted a special astra from Shiva. So he was actually praying to Shiva. And what happened, that suddenly when he opened his eyes, he saw an animal who was actually attacking him, about to attack him. So he shot at the animal, right? But when he went to that animal to see whether that animal is dead or not, he saw there were 2 arrows instead of 1. So he's wondering, oh my God, I shot only 1. Where's the other arrow come from?
Shivaji.
So Shiva also, but Shiva is not, he's disguised as a hunter. So we don't know whether it's Shiva or not, but there's a hunter. He was hiding behind, and that hunter also came out of his hiding and said that, I actually killed this animal. So Arjun said, but I also killed this animal because my arrow is also stuck on the animal's neck. So now they're having this argument, who actually shot the animal. So they said, okay, let's decide who's the winner by having a duel, by having a fight. So they both started fighting, but Arjuna, even though he was such a great warrior, he was not able to defeat this hunter. And this hunter looked very ordinary, Any hunter in the forest doesn't have so much training, right? And this guy is really trained by the most excellent teacher of those times. So how come this hunter has so much valor?
Understood it was Shiva.
So he understood that this is not an ordinary hunter. So he asked the hunter, can you please reveal yourself? Because I know you're not ordinary. Can you please tell me who you are? And he folded his hands. Very humbly he's asking. Not that, okay, fine. Who are you? Nothing like that. We should learn that they are very humble in their approach. When they know that, yes, we can learn something from the other person, they humbly go and ask that person, okay, please reveal your identity. And then Shiva actually revealed his identity and said, I'm so happy with your austerities. I'm so happy with your tapasya. Please ask, what do you want? So he said, I want that weapon. What is the name of the weapon? It's called Pashupat. Pashupat Astra. Yeah, it is. It's very, very divine, and it's very, very important to have this astra, because this actually determines that you win the battle, right? So we can see that this Arjun, he had lot of sattvic qualities, which is like he was mostly in the mode of goodness. He definitely had mode of passion, but that was for a purpose when he had to fight a war. But generally he was a very, very nice person with a lot of saintly qualities. So he was the right candidate to become a devotee of the Lord. And he was best friends with Krishna. So Krishna was his cousin. So like when we have the summer vacation or winter vacation, we go to meet our cousins, right? So when they used to go to meet their cousins, they used to go and meet Krishna, right? And they used to play, when you play with your cousins, when you're playing with your, brothers and sisters, you have a very nice joking mood, isn't it?
Yes.
So Arjun had that mood like a friendship mood with Krishna. But when he came across this dilemma in the battlefield, he prayed to Krishna that, I know you're my friend, but now I want to give you the role of my guru. I want to take instructions from you. So I want to become your disciple. So no more the role of a friend. Now please become my instructing guide, right? So he chose Arjuna. Arjuna chose Krishna for wisdom because he wanted to gain wisdom from Krishna, right? So how did he gain the wisdom? Just like that. Like if I have some questions, then only I will get the answers, right? If I have no questions, I will not get my clarity, right? Like when you are in school and you're not understanding, suppose a subject or something, you're going to raise your hand and ask, ma'am, I have a question, I have a doubt. So similarly, Arjuna also asked his doubts to Krishna in the battlefield. And then we will see how Krishna answers these doubts and how Arjuna gets the clarity. And then he becomes really firm. He understands his own identity and he fights the battle not because he thinks that he's really great, but because he wants to become an instrument. He wants to become an instrument and he wants the hand of the divine to guide him in his life. Okay? So as we go along the chapters, we are going to see how Arjuna has made Krishna his guide and how he gets all his answers from Krishna. Thank you.
Fine, so great. Okay, before we end and start celebrations, we had this homework, remember? We had this, most of you were discussed. Have you discussed with your parents? Of course, yeah, okay. So, anyone wants to share reflections? Any child wants to share reflections from the reading that we did? So there was this boy who was feeling very low, and then this warrior came and told him about his story. His story about Arjuna, basically the hero. You remember? So you want to go first? Okay, one minute. Okay, one.